Especially after the pandemic. Short of,
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Afternoon. We're going to call this meeting to order. It's 4 o'clock, although I'm going to go with the computer time, not with the clock time. Calling to order the Historic Preservation Commission meeting. Can I trouble you, Spencer, to help me with the roll call?
Yes, of course. Commissioner Collum,
Here.
Commissioner O'Neill,
Here.
Vice Chair Barlow,
Here.
Chair Rodriguez,
Here.
Commissioner Rath,
Here.
Commissioner Pizell,
Here.
Commissioner Smith-Crivello. Staff present today, we have Planning Manager Hill, Principal Planner Roveri, Principal Planner Sabdo, and myself, Recording Secretary Argenbright. Information on participating in this meeting and providing public comment, including remotely by Zoom or telephone, is on this meeting's agenda, which is online at monterey.gov/agendas. Remote commenters will be muted until it is their turn to speak, and a timer will be shown on the screen. If you are connected on Zoom, the timer is accurate with no delay. In the chamber, we recommend keeping phones and devices muted to prevent audio interference with the meeting. Thank you for participating in your city government.
All right, thank you. So we're going to start with the consent agenda. Any comments, questions on item number 1, which is the approval of the November 13, 2025 minutes from the commissioners?
No.
No. Any members of the public? I don't see anybody in person. Spencer, anybody online?
See, there are currently no attendees online.
All right, well, I'm happy to take, anybody want to move for approval?
Move that we approve the minutes of November 13th.
Thank you, Carol. Any second?
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right, approved by unanimous consent. We're going to move now, end the consent agenda and move to general public comments. Again, I don't see anybody in chambers. Spencer, is there anybody that has joined who wants to make a comment?
No, there are still no attendees currently online.
All right, thank you. So we're now going to move to our public hearing, which is item number 3, to consider 640 De Visadero Street, application HP 250175 to remove the property from the new Monterey Reconnaissance Survey. I assume there's staff presentation on that?
Yes.
All right, thank you. I'll turn it over to you.
Chair, I need to recuse myself from this. Do I need to step out or not?
Yeah, if you want to go ahead.
Well, thank you very much. I understand it's because you live close by, yes?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So we can call you, I guess, when the item is over?
Sure.
All right, thank you.
I have a point. If can you sit in the audience and not participate? Not present at all? Okay.
He might be making faces at us or something.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Thank you. Well, I just
Uh-huh. All right, so I'll turn
some
it,
cases that has happened.
yes. I'll turn it over to staff. Thank you.
My name is Christy Sabdo, Principal Planner with the City of Monterey. I will be presenting 640 Divisadero Street, historic permit application HP 250175 to remove the property from the new Monterey Reconnaissance Survey. Staff's recommendation is that the Historic Preservation Commission adopt a resolution approving the application removing 640 Divisadero Street from the new Monterey Reconnaissance Survey. The property is zoned R1. The general plan designation is low density, and it's in the new Monterey neighborhood. So the city's historic preservation ordinance established that properties may be removed from a reconnaissance survey list if an intensive survey is prepared by a qualified professional and the property is determined not eligible for historic zoning. A property is only eligible for historic zoning if it meets one or more of the California Register of Historical Resources criteria and retains sufficient historic integrity. Background on the residence. So the original residence was constructed in 1945 under the jurisdiction of Monterey County. It was a one-story wood frame vernacular cottage. It featured a gable-hipped roof, wood cladding with simple trim, wood sash windows, and a partial width porch. I don't have a picture of it, but I do have the outline of the site plan here. And this is just the New Monterey Reconnaissance Survey that shows kind of what a typical vernacular cottage looks like. So between 1998 and 2003, the cottage was largely demolished and extensively constructed. Following this remodel, no exterior historic fabric associated with the 1945 cottage remained. So this is just showing the 1945 original house and then the reconstructed residence as it looks today. The existing site plan is on the right, showing the existing residence, garage in the rear, and a shed and driveway here. So the existing Queen Anne style residence is a has cross-gabled massing, angled two-story bay, decorative shingles that are rectangular and fish scale, molded decorative eaves, wood channeled drop siding, which is distinctive varied wall textures, multi-light wood windows and doors with transoms and corner boards, and then the detached garage at the rear of the parcel that was also constructed at the same time. This showing the front elevation and rear elevation, the side south and side north elevation. And here's the detached garage that has a wood frame construction with horizontal siding, composition shingle gable roof, simple eave returns, and a flat board trim. So the New Monterey Reconnaissance Survey originally designated this property 7R, which means not evaluated. Not evaluated, but they still do a DPR, which is pretty much like a windshield survey. For example, is just like sitting on the street, what they see from the street. So they noted that the construction date was 1895, which is an error because they have a picture of the Queen Anne style residence that was constructed in the early 90s. The applicant submitted an intensive survey prepared by architectural historian Ruben Mendoza with Archives and Archaeology. It's Exhibit A of your HPC packet. In order to be eligible for listing at the local, state, or national historic registers, properties must be significant under at least one of the following criteria. So we have criterion 1, events, patterns, and trends. Criteria 2, persons. 3, design and construction. And 4, information potential. And also integrity. In order to be eligible for listing in the local, state, or national historic register, a property must retain sufficient integrity to convey whatever historic significance it may possess. A property that has sufficient integrity will retain a majority of the character-defining features of the style of the residence identified. In general, a property that has sufficient integrity will retain a majority of the 7 aspects of integrity. So I'm going to run through the 4 criterion. The property has no association with events that made a significant contribution to broad historical patterns in Monterey or California. The redevelopment of the residence in the late 20th century, early 21st century infill, and is not a documented exemplar of a significant trend. Overall, no event of significance to the nation, state, or region has been identified with the existing property. This criteria is not met. Criterion 2, person. The property has no association with persons of recognized historical significance. This criterion is not met. Design and construction. In the intensive survey, Ruben Mendoza states that the existing residence does not embody the distinctive characteristics of a historic period Queen Anne resource. Rather, it is a late 1990s and early 2000s eclectic, custom house that replaced, obscured the 1945 cottage and employs contemporary materials and applied ornamentation. This criterion is not met. In terms of information potential, this property is not eligible as there is no evidence in the historic record that the site or building may be likely to yield important information to prehistory or history. So this criterion is not met. And integrity is defined as the ability of a property to convey its significance. Generally, integrity is only evaluated if a property has been determined to be significant. And 640 Divisadero does not meet any of the criteria for significance on the federal, state, or local levels. However, architectural historian Mendoza did give a little detail on integrity and stated that the location and setting has been retained. However, design, materials, workmanship, feeling, and association have not been retained due to the partial substantial demolition of the original 1945 house and a comprehensive 1997-2003 redesign of the residence. The existing character reflects the contemporary work. So overall, it lacks both historic significance and physical integrity. The subject property does not meet the necessary criterion for listing in the National or California Registers of Historic Resources, nor does it meet the criterion established by the City of Monterey to qualify for inclusion in the Monterey Historic Resource Inventory. And therefore, the property is not a historic resource as defined by CEQA. Staff recommends the Historic Preservation Commission adopt a resolution approving an application to remove 640 Divisadero from the new Monterey Reconnaissance Survey. The property owner is not going to be in attendance or on Zoom. However, the architectural historian hopefully joined. He did say he would be online if you have any questions.
All right, thank you. All right, thank you very much for the presentation. Any questions from the commissioners?
I have a question. So Christy, are we seeing this item essentially due to an error on a DPR form?
Yes.
And this is the only way to resolve that?
Yes, because in the code, the City of Monterey code, in order to remove a property from a historic survey, you need to prepare an intensive survey and take it to the HPC to make that decision and remove it from the reconnaissance survey.
Anybody else? I have a question. When was that reconnaissance survey done?
The original reconnaissance survey.
I mean, I'm assuming this is after 2003. No?
Let's see.
I saw it somewhere.
Oh, I have it in my presentation. Let me see if I can pull up the year.
And sorry if I missed it in the packet. I just didn't see it.
Let's see. It looks like it was recorded in 2009.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, makes sense. Okay, so we don't have an applicant making a presentation, but I don't know, would the architect want to make any comments? Or I should say architectural firm, maybe.
Architectural historian.
Is the architectural historian online? You should be able to unmute and speak.
Yes, this is Ruben Mendoza, and I prepared the assessment in concert with Jennifer Lucido, a colleague who specializes in cultural resources management. And when we first arrived at the house, I was very hopeful that we were looking at a building that in fact integrated many of the kinds of character defining features. But as I began to approach the building, I began to realize there are many faux elements. For example, plywood flumes with paste-on bricks that were falling away. That was a dead giveaway. And then, of course, I began to note that the widow's walk that had been there, the beams had partially rotted away and were cut away. And so at that point, I began to note very modern details. And only as a result of continuing the analysis that it was clearly determined that the original building was pretty much obliterated. There is no fenestration or cladding original to the original bungalow that had sat on that site from about 1945 onward.
Yes.
I don't know if I answered the question.
I think we have a question from Commissioner Smith Crivello.
Okay.
Hello, Thank you for being available, Ruben. On the
No
bottom
problem.
page, or it's just not pointing toward me. This monitor is for two persons. So can you hear better now? Is it
Yes,
lights on?
yes.
Okay, so on page 47, the second photo shows what looks like it could be old elements, but are those just modern also?
Let's see, page 47.
And
Yes, those are definitely modern. You're talking about the ancillary structure, the garage?
no, these are just like little pineapple
Any other
shaped.
thing?
Oh, yes. What's interesting about those is I took a good look at those. And actually, they're the types of elements you can pick up at Home Depot. And there are very similar ones that are available. They have a screw bolt in the base, and you simply attach them to the top of a 4x4 redwood post, and then you have your character defining feature. There were piles of these situated where the carport had been, and there were metal brackets of the type I've actually used to build decks with that were pretty much deteriorated. And they clearly showed that the posts that once held up the carport had rotted away. There were splinters and basically decomposed wood throughout.
We've just never seen something like this. And
You're not the only one.
it's unique in my experience on the
I found it a fascinating case study. How do you basically take a building that literally is a recreation of a building from over a century ago, and you duplicate it fastidiously, and still you use materials that clearly are not period appropriate?
All right, any other questions for Mr. Mendoza?
No.
No? All right, I'm going to open it for the to the public for public comments. I see none in chambers. Anybody, Spencer, raising their hand?
There are no other attendees online, but I'll remind the public that information on how to participate remotely by Zoom or telephone is found at monterey.gov/agendas. If you are joining by telephone, dial *9 to raise your hand and *6 to unmute. There are still no other attendees online.
All right, closing public comments. Last chance. Any comments from the commissioners? All right, if not, I will entertain a motion.
Okay, I'll move that we accept the proposal to take remove 640 Divisadero Street off of the reconnaissance survey.
I second it.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any comments regarding the motion? If none, I will entertain a vote. All those in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? Nobody, but we do have an abstention from William Heisel. Yes. All right. With that, the motion carries. And I think we can call William back to the room.
That is appealable to the Planning Commission with forms available online and in the planning office within 10 days.
And thank you, Mr. Mendoza, for joining the meeting. We appreciate it. And thank you, staff, for the presentation.
Thank you as well.
All right. Now we move on to planning updates.
Sure. Thank you. As noted in the agenda packet, we do have a couple items that are potentially tentatively scheduled for our next February 12th HBC meeting. That is going to be one item that's scheduled, a project that's at 800 Cannery Row, and then potentially a update on from our Library Museums Director, Brian Edwards, on the Lower Presidio and what's happening out there. So that's tentatively scheduled for our next meeting. And then, of course, as always noted, is our upcoming historical and cultural events. We do have tours of Pacific Biological Lab. There's this weekend, and as well as other dates. We have wharf walks at the old Monterey Wharf starting February 7th, and then additional dates there as well, if you're interested. And then, of course, the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am on February 9th, starting tomorrow.
I'm excited about the traffic on that one.
Yeah, everyone.
Question for you. I've been here 10 years now, but realize I'm way newer than most of you. Is that the Ricketts Lab?
It is.
Oh, okay,
correct.
perfect.
Yeah, down on Cannery Road.
And then you said there's a tour on Saturday, but are there other?
There are other dates. We can get those, but yeah, the one that we have listed is just the upcoming date, which is on January 10th. But there are additional dates.
I'm sure we can Google it somewhere, so you don't have to send.
You
Okay,
can,
perfect.
but we can also research that.
Okay,
Yeah.
we can. I mean, unless somebody wants it, but we can
Got it.
look for it. Thank you very much. Any activities? I know you all always have historic related activities that you want to mention. Please.
I have just one thing first, and then I'll mention something. But this is for Spencer. If you happen to mention the historian that prepared the report, it's Dr. Ruben Mendoza. He's a retired professor from Cal State Monterey Bay. And so I know you said Mr. Thank you, Mr. And so I thought, we have a chance to get it right if he's going to mention his name. And
Please, if I do that in the future, I don't take offense. He went to a lot of schooling. If you say doctor, I'll say sorry, doctor.
no, I know it's just, we didn't necessarily see his title, or at least I don't remember, but just if he's going to write it, might as well get it right because he has the background. And then Monterey History and Art is having a dinner in the style of the Catamatories restaurant, and it's going to take place on Valentine's Day next month. And if you're interested in having a dinner at the Casa Serrano, which at one time was a Catamatories Italian restaurant, and you might like to look at the Monterey History and Art website and sign up. So we'll give it a little plug for trying to have a somewhat historic flavored dinner there for the public. And if you're a member of Monterey History and Art, you probably have already heard about it.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Any other announcements? Please.
I'll throw out two for the lighthouse and naval facility in Big Sur. We're looking for volunteers, and our training is starting next month. And there's an event on February 12th to commemorate the wreck of the USS Macon, which was a dirigible that crashed just off of Point Sur in 1935.
Wow.
And they're going to have a special tour and a couple of short lectures and explain. Of course, we don't have video, unfortunately, but they're going to recreate verbally from the investigation of the Macon, which went down.
That's the same date as our next meeting too. HBC.
Well, I'm not going to, well, I'm coming here.
You might have to miss it.
It could be cold and rainy. It could be like today was glorious and
Gorgeous.
sunny.
Just freezing, but yes,
Yes,
glorious
yes,
and,
it was.
and sunny. All right. Any other announcements? If not, we're ready to adjourn at 4:22. Thank you very much. And I'll do the. There you go.